Steven, what's that moment like when you hit that ball over the wall there?
Say that again.
What's that moment like when you hit that ball over the wall? What are you thinking? The emotions obviously were pretty obvious. What were you thinking there in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just honestly, it was super pumped to come through for the team right there. You know, we were just we're putting runners on and putting pressure on them, but we just couldn't crack through. And, late in the game, obviously putting our team ahead, it was, especially being with a new group of guys, I could feel their energy and it just fired me up.
Was it, extra fulfilling, any more satisfactory doing that against the team that you did it against?
Yeah, anytime you play old teams, it's fun to play against and do well against them. It's honestly the last moment that I had here wasn't a great one, so I was more fired up that I could kind of erase that and put that really in the past and celebrate this one.
And in that play down the right field line, can you kind of take us through it? Trevor just told us he was just hoping you wouldn't get hurt. Can you tell us your read and all that on that play?
Yeah, Clay put me in a good position to make a play on it, and I knew it was going to be close. And I took my eye off the ball for a second, check where the wall was, and I didn't want to catch and go into the wall. I felt like I was running too fast, so I slid and just kind of reached out and hope it didn't hit the wall. And luckily, it fell into my glove.
Are you at the place now, the point now where you don't think about your knee at all when you make that kind of play, or do you still think about that a little bit?
No, I honestly every single day I don't think about it anymore, and that's kudos to all the people that have helped me rehab it.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah.
Next question is for Pagano. Go ahead.
Hey, Steven, is that sort of swing sort of like a culmination of like a lot of the stuff that you've been working on down on the minor league side and then alternate site and then OKC, just all this sort of stuff that you've been trying to focus on?
Totally. I think the two swings today, being able to take the 98 up and in from Wheeler the other night and hit it back up the middle and then stay on a slider down and in. I think that's been the kind of goal to be able to cover a bunch of different pitches without trying to. And so, that swing goes out to Chris Anariska, Manny Burris, Robert Bates, Brent Brown. Honestly, the amount of work they've put in for me is I can't even tell you guys.
Would it be fair to say that it was maybe a little bit more emotional for you when you touched home plate here rather than when you saw the ball go over the fence? For sure.
Like I said, the last time I touched home plate, it didn't end well for me. So being able to touch it and walk away, being up 1-0 was definitely emotional.
Thank you.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Steven, how many times have you been back here since the injury?
This is my first time.
So when you walk in the building, does it all come back? Yeah,
absolutely. And unfortunately, it's no credit to the organization, but it just had some bad memories here, from the injury. And I was injured multiple times here. My tenure here wasn't great just because of all those things. So to be able to put that behind me tonight and play baseball, feel healthy and feel great with this amazing group of guys behind me. It was great.
And what was going through your mind as you and how would you describe that run down the first baseline?
Well, I almost missed first base. I don't think I've ever done that in my career, but I looked into the dugout and the boys were so fired up that I was, I was so fired up with them. And so luckily I touched first. I didn't want to pull, Cabrian Hayes and miss it and count it as a single. That would have been no good.
Thanks, Steven.
Next question is from Rowan Cavner. Go ahead.
Yeah, Steven, you said you don't really think about it anymore as you're going in for that catch. I mean, how long did it take to get to that point? Even last year in Chicago, were you there yet mentally?
Yeah, some days, but more often than not, no. And I think the quarantine really hurt me, not being able to do anything and just kind of sitting on it. Gyms were closed, all that. But yeah, coming into this spring, really, I have never really thought about it. My knee bounces back great, and I thank God that I'm able to, turn around and heal and feel great. And I feel the best I've felt in 3 years.
Thanks, man.
Last question from Ron Cervenka. Go ahead.
Got to ask, Steven, did you get the ball back?
I didn't. I probably should. I know they got it over there, but that's definitely a good one that I'm going to want to keep.
Thanks, dude.